One of the most important components of software development kits, the ability to design and create custom maps, levels, and even entire worlds, is a fundamental reason why many amateurs begin learning SDKs. Designing mechanics follow a very basic formula that has been unchanged since the beginning of the short SDK history. Developers would begin with very basic geometric figures and would build shape upon shape to simulate a natural environment. Once the skeletal framework of the world is established, the next step would then be to import and apply textures onto these basic geometric shapes to add a sense of realism to surfaces. Additional elements would then be applied to the world, such as light sources, entity models, 3D skyboxes, particles, etc. Most SDKs are configured using a 3-pane window graphic user interface that allows developers a 4-perspective view of their projects. Generally, 3 windows would display wireframe perspectives from the top, the side, and from the front, while the remaining window would show a real-time rendering of the project. This model directly reflects the influences 3D rendering softwares like Autodesk Maya had on the gaming industry. Both Valve's Worldcraft and Budgie Halo Custom Edition have very rudimentary modeling systems extremely simplified for ease of use during a time when the amateur community was still being formed. Unlike a more mature SDK, basic geometric tools produce very basic geometric shapes, producing a very angular and blocky environment. The limited selection of textures and entities, models that are not created as part of the environment, greatly restrict variety. In comparison, Valve's Hammer authoring tools and Epic Games' UDK have adapted and evolved to suit a much more wider, experienced, and knowledgeable developing base. Both of the SDK's interfaces have expanded to include much more features and not only incorporate simple geometric shapes, but allows for extensive carving and cutting of the geometry to create much more complex figures. Additionally, the amount of textures and entities that are available allow for a greater variety to developers. For example, in Hammer authoring tools, entities are not limited to only models and lighting, but cameras can also be imported, and entities that dictate cinematics are also included. As games grew in complexity, the technology that would allow developers to freely access the complexities of these games needed to evolve as well. Not only did the technologies improve, but content in SDKs have seen a sharp increase as well.